Okay, guys, welcome back. Today's stream came a bit early today, as I've got a little bit of time before I have to head to the gym. I've got to get those gains. So let's see what's been happening so far. Let's do a quick recap. So where we were last sesh. So we're talking about this range that we're approaching, didn't we? We have this 4-hour supply. This 4-hour obstacle, this 4-hour order block. It's a single bar order block and it wants to push us down. But is Bitcoin gonna have the strength to break through? Is it gonna be able to break through? So because of that, we're gonna be looking at that area obviously for a trade. We're gonna be looking for a clear market structure change and continuation downwards. So if we play that, let's see what Bitcoin has done. Bitcoin is kind of edged forward, hasn't it? It's continued on that journey throughout this supply zone. It's gone through that proximal line, is heading towards the distal line, and it's showing no signs of turning around. I did say I'm in a short. So I was in a short yesterday. I got into a short yesterday, and it was a very, very quick scalp. And I moved my profit to entry ASAP. Why? Because I realized we're already quite deep into the zone. And that trade actually got stopped out. But luckily, I got stopped out in profit, which is good. Made about maybe 1.5 R on that, which is nothing crazy. But I promise you, with good risk management, you can make a fortune out of tiny moves with good risk management. All right. So let's go back and see what's going on. We're on this 4-hour zone. I'm just going to spend today analyzing what's going on here. And then, it's the same as yesterday, honestly. It's the same as yesterday. Our targets are still the same as yesterday. We could continue up to that, primary range high. But we're going to see what Bitcoin did. So we'll use the bar replay tool. This is our best friend. And let's go back to around here because I think there were some interesting things to talk about. All right, so what did Bitcoin do? So today we have time. There's no rush because nothing has happened. Now, usually I try and fit all this information in 20 minutes, which is not the easiest thing to do. But today we've got a bit of time, so we can chill, we can relax. So what was going on? As we headed towards this range high, we broke structure here. We could have entered along at that retracement. And then we tagged the proximal line of our zone. Now, what do I mean by the proximal line of our zone? A lot of you are thinking, especially the beginners, and especially the guys I don't teach. So when I say proximal line, all I mean is if you have a zone, let's say this is a demand zone or supply zone, this is your proximal line. If this is a supply zone, that's if price is going up, right? And this is your distal line. Okay, it's basically, think of proximal as the one that is closest to you. All right, it's in close proximity, and distal is the one that's really far. It's quite distant. If this is a demand zone, it's the other way around. So as price is coming down, this becomes your proximal line, this becomes your distal line. So that's it. All right, so when you hear the word proximal and distal, don't think I'm setting out here to confuse you guys. I am not. All right, I'm trying to debunk a lot of these trading myths, a lot of this nonsense we see on YouTube. All right, and all these fake influencers. That is what we're trying to do here. All right. So what did Bitcoin do? So Bitcoin had this nice bull trend bar, retracement, a bit of a pause. Why would I not be looking for a trade here yet? Well, because we're so close to this zone. All right, bull trend bar, a little bit of a pause, and then we go into our zone. All right. Interestingly enough, I caught this top. I caught a trade there, took that down. All right, but because it was the first entry trade, I knew not to hold that long, so I knew to load it heavy and take profits early, and that's exactly what I did. And so what did price do? So price started to rally back up as expected. So now, as price rallies back up, what should you be thinking? Well, you should at the very least be thinking, right, this is tap number 1 and this is tap number 2. Tap number 2 is traded higher than tap number 1, and that's good. You should also be thinking, right, this could be a potential range up here. We could be distributing at supply. All right, and that's what we're doing. However, remember yesterday what I said. I said when we hit supply zones or when we hit demand zones, really and truly, you don't want to spend too much time there. You don't really want to spend too much time there, because the whole idea, the premise behind supply and demand is you have unfilled orders waiting to get filled. So if you have unfilled orders at a zone waiting to get filled, why should it spend ages there? Why should high volume players dilly-dally around before, they enter the market? No. As soon as it tags the zone, it should have an immediate reaction. So the fact we didn't quite get that, we tagged it once, we came back up for another tag, all right? It was kind of suspicious. It was suspicious, all right? So what I did is I entered a trade here. I also entered a trade here as well. And all of these trades, I closed it in profit. I closed them in profit. But price did do a naughty thing. Price did a very naughty thing, didn't it? And I'm sure some of you fell victim of it. Now, the naughty thing that price did is price pretended to break structure here, especially on a 10-minute. So we can say that this is potentially a 10-minute break in structure. Let's call it boss. See, we've got time today, so we can label stuff. It's got a 10-minute boss. Why is that a break in structure? Well, it's a break in structure because we had an up, we had a down, we had a sweep of that high, and then we broke that last higher low. Why was that a naughty thing to do? That was a naughty thing because what's the expectation of order flow? The expectation of order flow is the price is set a lower high and then a further continuation down, giving you what a lot of retail traders would say, look at that nice head and shoulders, But price didn't do that. And the reason it didn't do that, this is something I go into a lot of detail in my one-to-one session, is because you have to consider multiple time frames. Whenever you have a break like this, you can't just chill and say, okay, cool, on the 10 minutes is a break, therefore it must be a break. No. Because the moment I click on this, I'm going to click on the 12-minute. That changed everything. It changed everything. Why? Because it no longer became a break. It became a classic SFP, a sweep of the low, making this weak, making this level a weak level. All right. And what did price do shortly after? Well, price rotated all the way up. All right. So just be careful there. Make sure if you've got a close or you're expecting a close, make sure you're checking on all time frames. Because what this means is that, sellers stepped into the market, tried to push the price down. And then the bull said, no way, we're coming all the way back up. All right. And what does that mean? That means we have a lot of bullish momentum at the end, at the close of these bars, pushing us all the way back to the top. So that's exactly what happened there. Cheeky move. So I hope you didn't fall for that one. All right. So what did price do after? Well, price said, all right, cool, you got me there. I'm going to keep going up now. All right, at this point now, what are we thinking? At this point, we have to be thinking, right, if we extend this range, we'll pull this range down. This becomes our new range. All right. And as this becomes our new range, we must be thinking, cool, we've broken out from this range. What do we expect after a break in structure? We expect kind of a significant break, arguably, but kind of a significant break. What do we expect after a break in structure? We expect a nice retracement. Do we get a retracement? Yes, we do. We get a nice retracement here. And we get that continuation up. So you could have been looking for a long off of this zone. Not only did we get a retracement, we got a nice block there, nice demand zone. That's exactly where we get that reaction from. Okay, so we could have entered that little scalp there. Obviously, I didn't enter that trade. I was in that short and I came out of it and I went to bed. See, this was what, 3 a.m. in the morning? No way. There's no way I'm staying up to trade like that. No way. Maybe in the summer when I'm away in a different time zone, maybe I'll do it then. But 3 a.m., no way. So what did price do then? Well, price said, all right, cool. I'm still going to distribute. Now, this is kind of annoying, right? Look, price isn't giving you a nice flow of structure, is it? You've got this range, all right? And then it's broken, and then you're having another range. You're basically having a range cascade. So a range, and then a range. Perhaps we get another one. This is what price is doing. I don't like it. This structure doesn't look good. That doesn't look like very nice structure. All right. Some of you might have been thinking, all right, cool. Is this some sort of wedge pattern? Is this a wedge pattern that's going to break at some point? Well, if that's what you're looking out for, I hope it works. Okay, but I don't like this. I just don't like this. I do not like this. All right. But anyway, so now what have we got here? So we've got a new range. Where's our range high? Well, our range high is over here. Where's our range low? Our range low is over here. Okay. Now at this point, guys, remember I told you I'm testing this new strategy, right? And I am testing it. And because I'm testing it, I'm entering a lot of trades based off of market cipher. All right. So what happened? Let's take it back a bit. So the moment we've confirmed our range here, what should we be looking out for? Well, we should be looking for shorts at the range high and longs at the range low. Is this a range high? Yes. Could we have been looking for a short there? Of course. Are we in premium? Yes. All right. So perhaps we look to see where is that structure going to break. Well, if we look at the range structure, we've got high, low, high, low, high. If we break this level, yes, we could justify that trade, of course. Of course we could. Do we break that level? Yes, we do break that level. But do we get a retracement? Not that I can see. Oh, we got a tiny one. We got a tiny retracement there. Perhaps we look on a 5-minute time frame to see if that was a good enough retracement to enter. If this was the level to break. Well, okay, on a 5-minute, this would be the level to break. All right, so we don't quite break below that. The 3-minute. Not the best. So if you did enter, I personally would not have entered a trade until at least about this level. And what will I be thinking getting into a trade at that level? Well, I'm going to get my risk to reward tool out. I'm going to say, okay, if I was to short at this level and I have to put my stop loss above that level, that means that my profit target is only down here. And my profit target is only down here. That means I've only got 1.5x. Is that worth it with, a lot of money on the table? Is that worth it? Probably not. All right. But, if you did enter it, great. You entered it, probably got 1.4, 1.25. That's fine. Depends. It's your money, right? You do what you want to do at the end of the day. It's your hard-earned money. All right, so let's carry on. So what did price do next? Well, of course, we're looking to see what price is going to do at this range low. Why? Because ranges oscillate. They go from... Ranges are kind of like a sine curve. Remember GCSE A-level math, or if you're in the US, what would we call it? We'd call it probably maybe grade 6, grade 7. I don't know. Someone correct me. What do ranges do? They're kind of like a sine curve. Remember your sine curve? Let's put a bit of trigonometry on there. You've got y, and you've got your theta. And what does it do? It oscillates like that, doesn't it? Oscillates like that. So we're looking to short there, long there, short there, long there, okay? So that's kind of what happened. You see, actually, trading is one of those things, right? When you were in school and you were thinking, miss, or when am I ever going to use math in my life? When am I ever going to use... This stuff is useless. It's useless. Well, your teacher should have said to you, listen, you could want to become a full-time trader. And a lot of these models, a lot of the movement of these curves, the interaction of buyers and sellers in a free market, it resembles a nice sine curve. And this is what we're seeing here. You see these oscillations? There are some indicators that model this using, obviously, your trigonometry curve. All right? So anyways, I digress. So we're back here now. We're thinking, cool, we're at the range low. We should be looking for what? We should be looking for a long. All right? And what do we get? We do get a pierce. We do pierce through a bit. But, we do rotate eventually. And not only do we rotate eventually, we rotate with the most bullish sign market cipher can give you. What was market cipher giving you? Market cipher was giving you a nice hidden bullish divergence. As price is making low lows, momentum was making high highs. All right. And that gave you that nice indication to enter. Now, I'll be honest here. I'll be completely transparent. I jumped the gun on this one. Because I saw the divergence, but I saw the divergence here. I was at a meeting and I saw the divergence here. So that was a low and I thought, this could be a nice one. This could be the divergence there. And I thought, money flow was going to do this. It was going to come here. It wasn't going to sink into the yellow. It was just going to go up straight away. And because of that, I entered a long scalp here. Okay. Now I entered a long scalp there. All right. And I said, you know what? I'm going to at least take profit when I get to 2R. Kind of broke my rules a bit. So I'm going to take profit when I get to 2R. And what did price do? Well, price came up a bit, and price said, no. Price said, we're going to come down for one more. We're going to give you that proper divergence. And then it gave us that divergence. What does that mean? That means I got stopped out there. I got stopped out right there. So it doesn't happen very often. But like I say, trading is not about getting that 100% hit rate. It's about exercising good risk management, understanding market structure, supply and demand, liquidity. And if you're using an indicator, use an indicator. All right, here's what it is. Especially if you're new to trading. If you're a beginner trader, I'm not surprised as to why a lot of beginner traders just go for indicators. I'm not surprised. All right, that's why there's a huge market for indicators. Okay, because it's a lot easier to use indicators than learn and put in the work. But you probably should put in the work if you want to do this seriously. But anyways, you could have entered along there. Now, based on market cipher, yes, you could have. That would have been a juicy risk to reward. Honestly, look at that. That would have been so nice, so nice. You could have 5 to 6x'd, your risk at that level. If you put $1,000 in there, you could have at least made 5-6 grand off of that trade alone. Now, all right, so let's go into the current price action and let's see where we are. Well, we're broken out of this range. It's a range. You see what we're doing, guys, right? We're still at the zone, all right? But price is teetering into that zone, and we have just officially reached the distal line of that zone. We have reached the distal line of that zone. So, can we rotate down from here? Yes, there is a chance we can do that. Is it increasingly less likely the higher and higher and higher we get into that zone? 1,000%. 1,000%. All right. But here we are. We've broken out from the zone. So if you are looking for a long scalp, you want to be saying, okay, cool. Can I enter at this retracement? Can I get a bounce from that level? Is it time to pull out the fib from the low to the high? Whack out the fib, put it from the low to the high. Make sure you can see where your 618 and your 382 levels are. Oh, that's an interesting zone. Now check this out. That zone is also confluent with a nice little demand zone over there. So if we were to get a continuation move into the zone before we go up, that's probably where it's going to happen from, in my opinion. And also, that's where I'm going to be interested in it happening. If it happens before, great. All right. But that's where I'm going to be interested in entering another trade. Okay. Now, let's see what the volume is saying. Let's see what the big players have been doing in that zone. All right. Let's see. We're going to take that volume profile. We're going to see what's happening. And look at that. It's coinciding with that POC as well. So that's a very interesting zone if we're looking for a long. All right. So what am I going to be looking as I go into that zone? As I go into that zone, I'm going to be seeing if price is coming down nicely. Emphasis on nicely. If it dips into the zone for a little drink, breaks structure shortly after, retraces, and away we go. That'd be nice. That's exactly what I'm looking out for. All right. Now, of course, we can also see that our value area high is confluent with our 38% level. So why don't we investigate this bit here, and why don't we see if there is a little zone in there? There may be a little zone in there. Oh, look at that. See, we're getting that black bar in there already. And yes, we have. Oh, no, we don't. All right, jump the gun there. Do we have a zone? Is this a zone? Let's check. We have to check this. Is this a zone? Yes, it is a zone. This is a zone indeed. All right, so we have another demand zone in there, although it's a 1-minute demand zone. All right, so these are potential areas we could get that continuation from, honestly. So I would suggest watching out for those zones just to get a reaction. Now, there's no harm in watching, right? A lot of people say, TJ, you put so many zones on there, you put so many ideas. Which one do I know to pick from? You're not meant to pick from any of them. You're not. You're meant to watch them and see if you get your confirmation at those zones. All right. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people just set limit orders at those zones, and they do work. A lot of the times they do work. But, just wait. Just be patient. Be patient. All right. Now, is there a possibility that we'll get a nice PO3? Now, I haven't said that word in a long time. I haven't said that word in a very long time. PO3. Could that be happening here? Of course it could. If it was happening here, what would it look like? 1 second. Let me just adjust this range because it's not perfect at the moment. It needs to be perfect. What could we be getting at the top of our zone? A nice little accumulation followed by a manipulation and a bearish expansion. Could we be getting that? Of course we could. So you have to always be thinking about this whenever you have your range. All right, and if I teach you, you know exactly how to do this. So could we be looking for a short here? Well, of course we could. Of course we could. And if we were, where would we look to enter that? Well, we could look to enter that. Let's take a quick look. Now, if this price rallies up and takes out this high, wicks it, doesn't close above it, that will be a good indication to wait for a break in market structure and enter a trade. Otherwise, yeah, we have, this is on a 1 minute though. I don't like that. Let's look at, just look at this. Look at this. If you see any bearish flips, it's a sign that you could potentially get a rotation here. All right. But look, market cipher is telling us we're heading up. All right. But just watch it. Just watch it and see what happens. But as far as your continuation longs, that's where we're looking at. One over there and one over there. Now, if price continues to blast off, that's fine. Let it do what it's doing. That means we're heading to this zone, this box above us for our next level. This is the 18-hour zone. This is the last obstacle in Bitcoin's way before we reach those all-time highs. All right, so of course we're going to look there for a short, but that's already explained in yesterday's stream. So if you do want more information on that, have a listen as to what happened yesterday, okay? So that's it. I'm gonna tidy up this chart now and post it so you can have a look. And if you do want the actual live chart, if you want my chart downloaded onto your screen, be sure to hit me up on Discord, because I will be posting the link on Discord in the chat channel for you to have a look. All right, I hope you guys have a great evening or afternoon wherever you are in the world, and I will see you tomorrow.